Welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team is currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 Hit Games 2 CD collection. You can find a link in the video description containing the entire directory structure of this archive. Here's the digs we have going for week 14. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply head on over to the Patreon page linked in the video description. Now without further ado, let's begin. First up, our only DOS game for today from Juan Bourbano was DOSGAMES /arcade2 /KILLMAZE. Okay, let's see what we got here. KILLMAZE.baz. Looks like we've got a quick basic game here. Maybe we'll look at the source code later, or I don't know. Would you like instructions for Killer Maze? Yes. This is Killer Maze. Play it one time and see why. What, is it going to kill us or something? You'll be placed inside, capitalized, one of 4 different mazes. Moreover, you will also encounter different starting positions within each maze. The idea is to find your way to the exit in the fewest possible moves or steps. So, basic maze game. How is that deadly? Okay, so F10 to quit, I'm guessing. So it's telling me I'm going north. So this is basically a maze game. Also, the 3D doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, look at this. When I'm right up against a wall, you can still see walls to the side of me. And yet, when I'm not up against a wall... Like, I mean, take a look at that wall on the right now. It looks like there's going to be like 2 passages, but if I turn this way and face north, it looks like there's only 1 path. That's really confusing. So, already we've got a 3D maze game that's failing at the most basic fundamental level of actually looking right. I'm sorry, but if you can't even do the 3D right, that's like... yeah, not... Oh, wait, made it out of the maze. Okay, so would you like to try again? Might as well. So really, that's all this is it has nothing to do with killing, it's not deadly, it's just a maze game with really bad 3D. Oh well. Very, very basic. Playable, but not as good as it could be. Next up, Brendan of Retro Swim has dug up WINGAMES /newwin2 /strek100. Okay, newwin2 strek100. Oh, you gotta read me, but it's a doc file, so Windows isn't gonna want to open it. Oh, I don't know, let's just go in. TC start... Okay. We got one of the TC games here. If this is what I think it is, first of all, this was made by Anthony Karin, version 1.01, 1994. Yep, that's exactly what I was expecting. Okay, the only trouble is that... Yeah, it looks like it would be something interesting, but the TC games are notorious for having really bad timing. So let me figure out if I can get this running at a better rate. Unfortunately, resizing the window isn't allowed in the unregistered versions. So you're still stuck with a tiny window if you try to maximize it. Just kind of a lame way to restrict your shareware, but eh. Oh well, there goes that idea for slowing it down. The only trouble is the way I have the Windows emulation set up. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. So it's like... There's some interesting 3D going on here, but all I'm doing is just mashing the mouse cursor and winning. So it's kind of spastic, to put it mildly. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. And now it's even, like, cut clips from this TV series, and Oh boy. Let me explain a little bit more about what's going on here. The TC games were a series of 3D rendered games that were made for Windows 3.1. A lot of them have pretty much been lost to time. I know there's several of them in this Shareware collection, and we'll probably dig them up sooner or later. The only trouble is there's no easy way to find them. Like, I mean, within this collection. You'd think there would be, except the readmes don't help. At least I don't think the readme helps. See, here's some of the other TC games, and I know some of these are in this Shareware collection. So, and, you know, the registration fee wasn't exactly that high for this thing. He was only asking $5. That was $19.94 prices. Okay, so it does say TC at the very start of the README file, but oh, we got it right there too. But you have to imagine trying to search for just 2 letters doesn't exactly go very well. So it's kind of hard to find where the TC games are hidden amongst this collection here. But yeah, that was TC Star Trek. Clearly, I mean, there's clearly a game here, but it's very difficult to really do much of anything. I mean, you can see that there's sort of like a radar, and I'm definitely firing phasers or something. I move the mouse cursor in various directions to be able to move around, but it doesn't really work all that well. So this would probably play better on period-specific hardware, like older Windows 3.1 systems. Emulated, or even on a high-end system, it just doesn't play very well. So it's really hard to comment on these games. But for what it is, it seems to be a very basic space shooter. Last up, we have a Team Dig from Shawnee and Michael Madsen, WINGAMES /sport/greens. So for some bizarre reason, this is the only game inside the sport folder in this collection. I don't know why they arranged it that way, but I have actually played this before, so I know what to kind of know what to expect here. Basically, this is a game. Okay. Basically, this is a golf game or a mini-putt game called The Greens. And if memory serves, this thing is ridiculously difficult. But that's only if my memory is right about this. Supposedly, there's a MIDI soundtrack and sound effects, but we'll see about that. Player name. Actually, I don't care. Now, for some reason, the MIDI doesn't want to play. Oh well. So, here's the first hole. And I know it looks kinda difficult for a first hole, because we already have these tiny bridges we have to get across. After going around... Well, hang on. Why is there... Are there only like 5 holes in the Shareware version? Why are the rest of these zeros? I don't know what this Loki's Revenge thing's all about, but basically what you do is you set the direction you're going to putt from over here, and then you set your power, and just putt. So, basic mini-putt. It has a surprisingly bad frame rate, but... So, that was the first putt. I want to get in line with that bridge there. Or at least try to. That was the fourth stroke. And... Oh, come on, seriously? So we did get it in, but that took 6 putts. And that was from somebody who's actually played this before. This is gonna get pretty crazy. Like, I mean, look at this. You could technically take a shortcut here if you're, like, really crazy. Actually, let's try for it, just because. Nope, should have done 4 power. Okay, let's see if we can get it across there. Nope. And it's weird that the water is like lava. Never mind the fact that your ball's going into like water or something. No, we got lava traps on this course. And they're very particular, apparently. So let's just try to beat this hole. Nope. And here's the worst part. When you touch the lava, it puts you back to the beginning of the hole. So you basically... It's not like in a real golf game of any kind where... Oh geez, how am I supposed to get it? Like in a real golf game where if you miss and get into a water hazard, you basically just... Let's see, and when you get to 9, the game's just like, oh, you didn't do it in under 9? Well, you must suck, and just brings you on to the next course. And look at this, the ball starts in the corner here. These course design... The architect from hell made these, apparently. At least on this course, it's actually water and not lava. Seriously? You gotta be super extra precise around the water, but the hole, you just get it close and it still doesn't count? There we go. Okay. And now look. Because of the way we're going to be hitting this, it's going to go straight into the lava if we hit it too hard. Or it'll go nowhere at all. What? What kind of sense does that even make? What just happened? Why did it suddenly work? I'm telling you, these courses are designed by Satan himself, who was going under the guise of Ken Foster and Sam Meisner. That does say Meisner, right? These guys are the devil, okay? They made a program specifically designed to be evil in the guise of a in the guise of mini-putt. Hey, let's just end this. Get these strokes over with, because we're sure as hell not going to win this course. Look at it. It even has a par 6 attached to it. Do any of you, seriously, does anybody watching this, have any of you ever been on any kind of golf course anywhere that had a par 6 hole on it? Why is Elvis in the high score tables? So that's the greens. One of the most evil mini-putt games ever created. I suppose if you want to torture yourself, you could try this thing out, but... Jeez. And this is the only game in the... Whoops. This is the only game in the sport folder here. It's like, why is this count as a sport and none of the other games? I have nothing more to say.